story begin when Megatron is about to grab Jazz, but Optimus would arrive earlier than he did in canon, transforms and rushes in. When Megatron grabs Jazz, Prime would sucker punch him in the face, sending him flying, since he caught Megatron off guard. And he grabs Jazz, puts him down, and makes sure he's safe, and goes straight to fight Megatron. But the movie will still end off the same. So that would be the end of the movie and everything else. But now we would cut to Revenge of the Fallen. Revenge of the Fallen plays out a bit the same, but the only difference is the chase with Sideways. Is it Sideways or Soundwave? No, Sideways, I believe. That chase goes a bit different. Instead of it being just Sideswipe, Jazz will join Sideswipe to kill off Sideways, basically. And they work together and basically kill him. Jazz will use his gun to basically shoot Sideways on the ground. Basically, he shoots the floor. Sideways transforms midair, and Sideswipe jumps down and slices him in half. Same way he did same like he does slice him in half like he did in the movie, but instead of it being in his vehicle form, it's in his robot form, and kills Sideways. And Optimus would kill Demolisher like he did in canon, and I would say that would be the end of the beginning of the movie. And we skip to basically the forest battle. Now Optimus asks Jazz and Bumblebee to accompany him to save Sam. I don't know what happened to the Autobots, but whatever the reason was, the others are not there. Now Bumblebee would transform, grab who's this? Who's this? I forgot the girl's name. It's been a while. Uh, whatever her name was, basically that Sam would with his girlfriend along with his roommates. I forgot his name. I forgot both of them. Michaela, yes, Michaela and Leo. Yeah, Leo. Sam's roommate and Sam's girlfriend Michaela. Sam's roommates Leo and Sam's girlfriend Michaela all go inside Bumblebee and just drive away as Bumblebee goes to fetch the other Autobots. But Jazz and Optimus work together to kill or protect Sam mostly, and they are fighting the rest of the other Decepticons, such as Grindo, Starscream, and Megatron. And it's easier for Optimus because he has an extra member there, but it's gonna get a bit harder as another Decepticon came in the scene and distracted him. And this Decepticon that came in is Bone Crusher, as he was there in the movie. And with Bone Crusher being here as well, it's also gonna be harder. But thanks to Jazz being there, it's easier. And Prime does kill off Grindo. Jazz since he has no reason to hold back, fights Bone Crusher and uses his speed, agility, along with his weapon fiery and overall his intelligence to basically outmaneuver and outsmart Bone Crusher. And with the help of Optimus, manages to kill him. But with this distraction, Megatron manages to stab and kill Optimus like he did in the movie. And Optimus tells Jazz, instead of Sam running, he tells Jazz to protect Sam. Jazz quickly grabs Sam and transforms and drives out of here with the twins and Bumblebee. And the rest of the movie will play out a bit the same. And the fight in Egypt will play out a bit the same. With the Autobots and Decepticons fighting each other. Iron Knight would still come with the RC triplets such as RC, Alita, and Chromia to search for Sam. And Alita is about to be shot by missile, but is saved in the nick of time by Jazz, who grabs her and moves her out of the way. And Bumblebee shoots the Decepticon straight in its skull, killing it and making sure it doesn't kill Alita this timeline and helps them out. And with Jazz and Bumblebee working together to help out the other Autobots, their Iron Knight will be less damaged, and RC and Chromia won't be killed in this timeline. I'm not really following the comics or the games. I just follow the movies. So if I see a character dies in movies, I'm gonna count them as dead. But if I don't see them die, but they're just missing for no reason, I'm just gonna count them alive. So yeah. So you're gonna see a lot of characters survive. But let's continue. Now, Rampage still attacks Sam like he did in canon. Bumblebee fights him, but when Ravage tries to basically kill Bumblebee, Jazz would come in the nick of time, as Bumblebee and Jazz were done helping the other Autobots kill the rest of the Decepticons. Besides Starscream, who escaped, and since Bone Crusher is dead early in this timeline, it makes it a lot more harder. And with Jazz helping out Bumblebee kill Rampage and Ravage, it's much easier for B, as they easily work together and kill them off. Now, I would say the rest of the movie will play out the same, but there's more about survivors. Prime will get revived, fights the Fallen, kills him, everything else plays out the same, I'm not gonna lie. But now we would cut to Dark of the Moon. Dark of the Moon will play out, hmm, I would say the same, but a bit different. You see, Dark of the Moon will play out like this. Like this, allow me to explain. Now, I would say, hmm, okay, mostly in the beginning will play out a bit the same, but the only changes I can change, see what I did there? But yeah, let me continue. Is the highway chasing. The highway chasing is where I can change a lot of things, as in this timeline, instead of it being Bumblebee, Dino, and Sideswipe, it's gonna be Bumblebee, Dino, Sideswipe, Jazz, and Jolt. And like I said, since Jolt never died in the movies, he died in the comics, but never died in the movies. So yeah, he's counted alive. So yeah, I'm counting him as alive. So yeah, and the five of them would work together to fight off the five Decepticons. It's not just the Dreads; it's also Starscream and Barricade. With the Dreads, Starscream and Barricade working together to fight the other five Autobots, it's a bit more tough. And Iron Knight is still called for backup as usual and helps the others fight them. And Barricade, along with the Dreads, will be tragically killed by the Autobots. But to be fair, Barricade appeared out of nowhere and basically did nothing much besides kill Q. R.I.P. But yeah, and with him being dead earlier, it's a blessing in disguise. But yeah, Starscream would escape because he's a snake. He's a slippery snake, always getting out in the most dangerous situations. But yeah, Sentinel will still betray the Autobots, and he goes on a rampage killing humans. And the other Autobots who stayed at base are about to be under attack by him, but thankfully are saved by Skips and Mudflap, who sacrificed themselves to buy the other Autobots some time to escape and basically leave the base. Now, that would say there's less human casualties than there were in the movie, and hmm, less Autobot deaths, basically. Well, sadly, technically, there was only two in the movie, but whatever. And there is two right now, which is Skips and Manflap. So never mind, and that's still the same. But yes, Skips and Manflap died because they sacrificed themselves to basically buy the other Autobots some time to escape. I know Autobots don't leave each other, but to be fair, they couldn't do nothing, so Skips and Manflap decided to be the bait. And there's a funeral hold for Skips and Manflap, and Prime seeing their deaths is very, very mad. Like he knows the twins. They were good bots, and they became better people because they were like in the comics. They were trained by individual masters. But hey, let me stop talking and let me just go straight. Optimus gets mad from this and wants to basically take revenge. You can say. Now we would basically skip to the Autobots being exiled from Earth and their ship being blown up as usual, and them coming back and saving Sam and his squad, and Sam getting his girlfriend Charlie, Kaylee, Kaylee, yeah, Carly, yes, Carly, yes. My memory got jogged right now. Yeah, Carly and the Autobots basically escape from Shockwave, and Optimus splits up the Autobots into different teams as he goes solo because he's the GOAT. Of course, he's gonna go solo. But he splits up the teams to different captains. Jazz is the leader of his own squad along with Ironhide. Ironhide leads the Wreckers along with Ratchet, Q, and Jolt, while Jazz leads Bumblebee, Dino, Sideswipe, RC, Alita, and Chromia. And yeah. And Jazz would have a funny moment saying, "Huh, we should have we should have team names. That wouldn't be that bad." And Optimus like, that is a good idea to represent each team. All right, Jazz, you guys will be called Team Speed, and I, you guys will be called Team Alpha, as both teams basically go off. Team Alpha is basically the heavy firing. Basically, they have the heavy weapons and are the stronger, more durable types. So they use mostly physical and overall firepower to overwhelm and kill multiple Decepticons. While Jazz's team uses their stealth, speed, and agility to outmaneuver and outpace and quickly kill the Decepticons with silence and deadly. If anyone catch my joke, but whatever. Now, Jazz's team would be captured because, well, yes, they're the faster. I mean, they're the faster team, but doesn't mean they have the highest durability. Sadly, Alita, Chromia, RC, along with Dino and not Jazz, Dino and Sideswipe, yes, are all captured, while Bumblebee and Jazz manage to escape. Now, they quickly go to Ironheart's team and ask them for help. And obviously, Ironheart, being a real G and a real best friend, is like, I got you, bro. As they decide to go help the others. But Ratchet says that he has a plan to make sure everyone comes out safely. He explains his plan like this: his team, which is Team Alpha, would basically use their stealth force to basically use their overall firepower and overall weapons to basically overwhelm the Decepticons. And since the Decepticons will be more focused on them, Jazz and Bumblebee will basically sneak attack the Decepticons that are holding Sideswipe, Dino, RC, Chromia, and Alita. And with this, the plan goes into motion. Now, Iron Knight's team will use their stealth force to basically overwhelm and basically tire out the Decepticons, while Jazz and Bumblebee will basically sneak attack and kill the Decepticons. And that's what happens. Iron Knight's team just throws missiles, grenades, everything, and just overwhelms the Decepticons. And Bumblebee and Jazz basically kill the Decepticons that are holding Dino, Sideswipe, and Leader, Chromia, and RC captive. And the Autobots work together to kill all the Decepticons. But now we will skip to basically the final battle where all the Autobots come together and fight the Decepticons. And remember when Optimus did that rampage scene? Yeah, that scene changes because instead of it being Optimus, it's the Autobots doing that scene themselves, rushing in, killing the Decepticons left and right, like Optimus did, and Iron Knight fighting off who's this Shockwave and kills him the same way Optimus did and blows up the pillar. And Optimus would arrive when Sentinel comes down and he starts fighting Sentinel and Megatron. As in this timeline, I'm gonna change Megatron's mindset. Instead of wanting to rule Earth, he just wants Cybertron back, yes. But I'm not gonna do it like the comics where he this man he surrenders and all that. I'm just gonna he helps Sentinel because, well, he cares about Cybertron more, but he wants to rule Earth. He's gonna betray Sentinel later. You can say he's a bit more smarter. Kill two birds with one stone. He helps Sentinel kill Optimus, then he kills Sentinel, then he takes over Earth and Cybertron, basically. But that plan goes to the dumpster because Optimus just overwhelms them with his overall firepower. Since he's in jet form, even if Sentinel takes out his rust cannon, which he never lost and still has enough cosmic rust, he can't really shoot Optimus. So Optimus just maneuvers and outpace Sentinel's blast, so Sentinel doesn't get the chance. And when Sentinel's about to shoot Optimus properly with an accurate shot, Sideswipe would come in and shoot Sentinel's blaster, blowing it up. Some of the cosmic rust comes on Sentinel, but with him having cubic fiber, yeah, and him being a bit more since he is technically the user, he's more resistant to his own thing. It doesn't really hurt him or do any damage. It hurts him like a little bit, like when you get a scratch, but he just gets over it. And Sentinel and Megatron are getting overwhelmed now. Optimus would then take off his jet pods and just use, well, like he rushes in and just throws away one of his jet pods, which is the jet boosters, throws them towards Megatron and Sentinel, and he blows up right in front of their faces, and Optimus just starts shooting. And Optimus will quickly take out his axe and kill Megatron the same way he did in the movie, and Optimus fights Sentinel one on one. And Optimus says how disappointed he's in Sentinel, saying that Sentinel taught him freedom, leadership, and honor and loyalty, and yet he betrays his students, who's been loyal to his ideas. But Sentinel says something that kind of makes sense. You are too soft on everybody. And Prime hears this and kind of stops fighting for a moment. And Sentinel takes this opportunity to trip Optimus on one of his legs and makes him fall. As he's about to stab his sword straight into Optimus's head, Ironhide comes in and shoots the blade away. Instead of stabbing it into Optimus's face or head, he stabs the road the concrete next to Optimus. Prime will quickly punch and move Sentinel away from him, and he quickly attacks him. He grabs Megatron's gun and uses it to damage Sentinel badly, and with the help of Iron Knight and the rest of the Autobots, Optimus kills Sentinel by basically shooting him through his spark chamber. And when Sentinel's dying moments, he tells Optimus that he's going to be betrayed by the humans. Hearing this, Prime says, "As I hope you're wrong," as Prime walks away with the other Autobots. And before that, Bumblebee and Jazz, along with Ratchet, work together to destroy the pillar, like Ratchet and Bumblebee did in the movie, but with the help of Jazz in this timeline. And it destroys, and Cybertron goes back to some distant part of the galaxy. The humans are fine. Everything goes well. Well, if anyone has seen Age of Extinction, you guys know. But yeah, and that will be the end of this part. So check you guys later, and hope you guys have a good time. Peace.